Boom! Boom! How's it going? How's it going? Welcome aboard. This is TJ from M5 Successful Friends, and welcome aboard. And today I am running another solo. Yeah, another solo that we are running today. And this solo is predominantly meant for some of the things that I've been learning. I've had the privilege to be invited on a phone call, or should I say on a Zoom call, with other like-minded entrepreneurs from across the world. And I have just been consuming a whole lot of information there that is making me grow. And as you know, the tradition of Empire Successful Friends is that whenever we get information that is good for our head or that is good for anything else, we will share it with everyone else. And that's exactly what we're doing today. So I am going to share with you guys I want to say that I jumped on this call and there was a guy called Trent Shelton. Trent Shelton. I've never met him before. I don't know him. When I started actually just listening to him, I realized that this guy is a beast. This guy is a beast. Feisty, young guy. And I'm no different to him. And obviously, if I look at anything and everything that is bringing on the table, I'm like, okay, good. If he's doing it, what is the difference with me here? I can learn something. So I'm going to bring you on this podcast, on this video, some of the things that I have learned from Trent Shelton. But the surprising thing is that, you know, whilst I was listening to Trent Shelton, I reached out to my wife and I said, actually, I didn't ask her. I went onto my Facebook page and whilst I was on there, I then searched for Trent Shelton. And I then realized that my wife actually likes him. My wife had been following him for a bit. So I asked my wife, who is this guy called Trent Shelton? And she said, you don't know Trent? I'm like, am I supposed to be knowing him? And she says, wow, he's just awesome. He's a motivational speaker. He's from the States, ha, ha, ha. And she gives me this whole rundown. So I have now started actually following Trent as well. And he's good people. He's good people. And I am going to go through now into the crust of what I learned from him on that call. The call was around about 30 minutes or so. And he was talking to leaders. He was talking to entrepreneurs. So everything that I'm going to be sharing with you on this here is basically everything that I consumed in terms of my perspective. I wrote it all down in detail. They are all my show notes, right? All my notes that I was able to write down. And you can see there, I enjoy color coding. So, you know, a lot of it is written in different colors and things like that. Apparently, it helps out with the brains to think, right? It helps out with the brains to think. Let's jump into it without wasting more time. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Your comments, you know, in the show notes. Drop me some comments there on what you think. Number one, Trent says, in a crisis, or should I say in crisis, you will either learn to sink or swim. And all crises are meant for you to swim. I was like, oh, that was deep. So let's break that down a little bit. The challenge are actually meant for you to swim, but now if you didn't know how to swim or you don't have the skill to swim, then basically what you now need to do is to learn how to swim, right? Or else you're going to sink. And that is exactly what needs to happen. If you jump in as an entrepreneur, you're either jumping into sink or swim. If you've got the right skills, you should be able to swim. You might start swimming slowly, but eventually you start swimming a little bit faster. He touches on an emotional intelligence, and this is something that I'm also keen about, just to understand who am I on my emotions, and where am I in whatever space that I'm in at that particular time, because a lot of people go through life and they actually do not understand how to harness their emotional intelligence. And this is one of the other key things that is needed for great leaders to grow, because you could be saying the same things, but saying it differently. if your emotions are in tune to it. So he says here, the things that you suppress and you tell everyone that you are okay, it will cause pressure. And at some point, you're going to burst. So in this time of lockdown, if you're not okay, call someone. Say you're not okay. If something is not right with you, don't bottle it down. Because the more you're bottling it down, it's pressurizing until at some point it is going to snap. And it might snap at the wrong time altogether, or it might snap in a place where you are like, people would think, what are you snapping for? And it was a very small thing. They speak about IOP. I didn't know what IOP was. Impress other people. So we're speaking again on suppressing. So you could be suppressing these feelings that you've got because you want to impress other people. There's no such thing as impressing other people. And this is what I learned from Trent. I am glad that from a young age, I've always lived my life for me. I've always lived my life for me because I've never had anyone else to impress. If you impress other people, guess what? They don't care about you. Like for instance, for me, I stay down here in Johannesburg. There's, I don't know how many millions of people. Nobody cares about you. Do you? There is only one person in the world anyway. Like you have the one fingerprint that makes you unique. And within that, you are the only you who can do what you are doing or what you're meant to do if you're not copying other people. I'm not going to count all of these things, but I'm just going to go, right? I'm just going to go on how many as I go on the different points. Something else, do not focus on temporary stuff. A lot of us will focus on temporary things. There is always a long view of certain things, and which is why I focus on legacy, because legacy needs to surpass me. I'm looking at second generation, third generation. I mean, down here in Southern Africa, you know, some of the people that I look at and I'm like, their legacy still is around now. You know, some of the people that I can drop so many names whose legacies is still standing. And these people were around in the 1910s, 1920s. Rockefeller, he's one of those people. There's so many names that we can think of, right? Everyone is a leader. Everyone is a leader. That's something else. And I think within my past couple of videos, you've been seeing that I've been mentioning a whole lot. Everyone is a leader, right? Something that is key. Your choices will become your consequences. Your choices can become your consequences tomorrow. So whatever you're going to choose today, whether it's right or wrong, tomorrow it's going to be there. So I am who I am today because of the choices that I made before. So I need to be making good choices so that my next tomorrow is going to be okay. My next tomorrow, I kind of like butchered the English there. My tomorrow is going to be okay based on where I am driving my life to. So choices, 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 choices. All right. That was so powerful. And he anchored this on the coronavirus. And he says, right, coronavirus has the power to destroy us mentally before it touches us physically. I don't know how to say that one. I just don't know how to explain that one. It's a big reality for a lot of us. It's a big reality for a lot of us. And I am no different. I remember in the first week of when this thing started coming up and I was almost sick. I had stomach pains. I had all sorts of things happening because this corona was now around. I didn't know what to think. So the reality is that if we're not mentally strong, the corona can get us. Okay, that's what it basically means. If we're not mentally strong, corona can get us. Okay, way before it even gets us physically. So it means that our minds needs to be strong. Our minds needs to be strong. Your perspective can be your prison or power. Your perspective can be your prison or power, right? So whatever you are focusing on can become your prison or power, right? So something else that he spoke of, I mean, I don't need to elaborate on that, right? Because whatever you are going to be thinking on and give into, definitely it is either going to be your power or your prison. I like that. I'm going to borrow that. That's mine. You are in control of things you bring definition to in your life. You are in control of things you bring definition into your life. That statement there was so key to me. When I heard that one, I was like, boom, stay positive, stay positive, speak positive into me, stay positive, speak positive. So Tarai, I speak to Tarai all the time. I now need to speak to Tarai more, right? Because my definition of what I speak is me. But sometimes the definition of what I listen to is not me. That could be scary. That's something else. That wasn't from Trent. That just came from me right there. Sometimes you need to lose to gain. Sometimes you lose to gain. You lose so that you can gain, right? A lot of times we go through all of these challenges, and we could be going through challenges right now. Some people might not even know where they're going to get the next food. Some people could be worrying where they're going to be paying the next rent. But all of it actually don't matter. You might actually have to lose all of the things that you have now for you to be able to gain the bigger part. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes someone's trash is someone's treasure. You know, you can see that I'm just dropping in all the statements that I heard from Trent, which resonated with me. But what I would like you to do is that, you know, when I drop a statement like this one, what does it apply in your life? So someone's treasure is someone's trash is someone's treasure, right? What you could be thinking right now is no value. Let me not share it with anyone. You know, this is trash. It could be someone's treasure, because at that moment, if you just say to them, A, B, C, D, do this, send an email. For you, you send, I don't know how many emails in a day, maybe 1 million, maybe 1,000. But for someone, just teaching them how to send an email, that could be treasureful, because they've never sent something like that. We've got so many people in our country that are computer literate and things like that. So in this time, if you're helping someone else with one simple skill, what was trash to you or perceived to be trash could be actually someone's treasure. Okay. We need to be learning, right? Make the call that your future will be happy about. So we spoke about choices earlier on. So make the call of what your future is going to be thankful of, right? So what kind of we are we making decisions of, right? So we walk around, are we totally happy that next week our future self is going to be like, Tara, you made a good choice, man. During lockdown, hey, Tara, you made good choices, man. This is what it's all about. Stay loyal to yourself. Right. So some of the things that you can practically do, right, whilst we are in lockdown right now, you need to be disciplined. Discipline doesn't come easy. For some of us, we don't even know it. We don't even know what that word means. But for me, this is one was not about Corona, actually. These were actually things that you can adapt as an individual. So for me, the first one that Trent shared was that you need to be a committed person. You need to show commitment, right? And normally, in tough times, that's when we see whether commitment is there or not. So commitment. That was number one. Number two, right? Discipline. You need to be disciplined. Right now, a lot of us, we're not going to work, so now we can chill at home. And some of us, we haven't bathed in a couple of days, you know? But the discipline of doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Consistency. Oh, this is deep. This hit me hard as well, because I am not that consistency, right? So sometimes I'm doing well, sometimes I'm not doing, sometimes I'm doing well, sometimes I am Consistency. So this whole consistency hit me hard. Then number 4, so we spoke about commitment, discipline, consistency, and number 4, have faith. Have faith in something. Have faith in something greater than you. Have faith for the fact that this that you are doing now, whether we're in lockdown, we're going to come out of it. Whether it's a business that you're starting off, it is going to work. Whatever that is, it is that you are doing, have faith that it's going to work. All right. The last thing that he shared with the group is that have heart. Have heart. And I've never heard this being said from this perspective. He says, have heart, suffer now and live the rest of your life like a champion. Boom. Suffer now and live your life like a champion. I don't know how to say this anymore. I just don't know. This was for me the pinnacle of it. I was like, suffer now, and you don't have, like, the rest of your life, you're a king, right? The one person who knew how to demonstrate that was the guy called Muhammad Ali. So Muhammad Ali, in the beginning, he's struggling, he's fighting, I'm not a fighting guy, but Muhammad Ali was fighting, training a lot for the rest of his life. He was a champ to the time that he died. My name is TJ. I'm hoping that this has given you some value, and during this time of lockdown, you have received something. It's been great chatting with you. God bless. Cheers. Goodbye.